crash, is it? Did Microsoft go down with it? Yep, Flight Simulator is gone. And Meta, so that was a crash to desktop on Microsoft adjusting the elevator trim. What? Yep. Which tells me that I'm done. So, OBS. That was a good discovery mission. So what are the takeaways? What succeeded? What failed? Well, I can start with the failures first. Failure to communicate. We worked that one out. Okay. We discovered, this is a big one. We discovered that, well, you can look at the hexadecimal values of a MIDI message to determine not only if it's a note on or a note off, but also what channel it was received on in the MIDI key-to-key app, which converts from MIDI notes to Windows keystrokes. We had Copilot help us out with that. We had her generate MIDI note tables for every MIDI note in the spec. And we know that there's two systems of notation, one that begins with C-1 and one which begins with C0. So you have to be careful when you're looking at your MIDI notes to determine which of the 127 value or 128 value of MIDI notes, which octave you're in. So we sorted that out. All right. We also created groupings and track names so that we could keep the project straight. We separated the DDJ 200 left and right decks and left and right pads out so that we can distinguish between them when MIDI notes are generated from a user clip, because left and right sides of a DDJ 200 deck use the same MIDI notes but on different MIDI channels. The left deck or disc is channel 1, the right channel 2, and the left pads channel 8 and the right channel 10. So same MIDI notes on the various channels, we can distinguish them to trigger different keystrokes in Microsoft's Flight Simulator chat. Alright. So that's pretty much the MIDI mapping stuff. We got that sorted out. We found out that we can edit the INI file that MIDI key-to-key uses to determine what to do when it receives those MIDI notes, making it easy to make corrections or to reassign actions to the same note on different MIDI channels, for example. We also could change the names so that they appear in the application. In a text file, we edited it in Visual Studio Code, and then that way when you look in the MIDI key-to-key drop-down list, you can quickly determine, okay, we're listening for that on the DDJ 200 left deck. It's going to be a E0 note coming in on MIDI channel 8. You know, right? So you can reason about it looking at the INI file. So if we need to make corrections or debug, we can go in there and read it, which is good. So that should speed things up. Alright, the multifunction display, which is the display we're going to focus on for reading the navigation map. We have the ability to change the zoom level and pan up and down, but left-right panning is, I can't discover how to do it. I think that might be something missing from the simulator. Maybe someone didn't expose that, because like all of these settings that you can expose, they do so people can build sim pits and, you know, map their controllers to their heart's content. And I just think there would be no way for anyone to pan that map left and right currently. I don't know, I'd have to look in the forums, see if someone's raised that. It might be voted upon, and it might be a low priority thing that hasn't gotten fixed. But we do have a map in electronic flight bag. If you don't mind using the mouse, you can navigate that map much easier in VR, because you can just grab your mouse and use the mouse, you know, buttons in the scroll wheel and get around it pretty quickly. But if you're looking for waypoints to do flight planning and you're panning around on that map in MFD, you can't go left right. We'll see how that works. I don't really use that when I'm flight planning anyway, so it's probably not that important. Primary function display. Yesterday we started reasoning about how to map the 2 columns of autopilot related buttons and flight planning buttons. Left column is autopilot, right column, right side of the display is flight planning, direct to flight plan button, you know, all that sort of stuff on the right side of the MFD. They're duplicated on the PFD, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to map one set of MIDI buttons to be able to depress all of those buttons, those 2 columns of buttons, especially 4 columns of buttons, but in 2 separate groupings. I think for a total of, I don't know, it might be 18 buttons. So but I'm going to use this cord to get 12 of those buttons done, or 16 of them. 16 of the 18, yeah, that's what it was. Right, so I can just reach over here to the side and say, by memory, you know, autopilot, flight director, heading, altitude, right? Because it's just a tap to switch modes. I just gotta remember to keep my hands off it when I'm over here working the mouse, because you'll be, I think I'm gonna make sure that's a good point. So we did bring up that button, and that was inadvertent button activations. You know, if you're just brushing across it, you're probably sitting a MIDI 12 or 24 on the velocity. I'm gonna, all of these buttons over here, I'm gonna make, instead of having don't cares for the velocity value, which is XX, I'm gonna nip that in the bud. I'm just gonna say, these XX's are gonna be 7F. Which is the velocity of 120, a value of 127, 7F. So instead of, you know, and fortunately we're not really using those buttons right now, but when I do, instead of having XX, which is a don't care, for the lower order byte, right, the least significant byte in that MIDI data, I'm going to put 1 or 7Fs, and then that means, you know, you really have to hit that button if you're trying to auto. That one's autopilot. That's flight director. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So I don't want to be, reaching for the mouse and turn autopilot off by accident. But these are the most used buttons in the flight anyway. Autopilot, heading and altitude, hold, flight level change, vertical speed. Right? I might have to move these more forward somehow. This is the space that I had available, so I do have to kind of reach for it. But I can do that. It's good exercise. What you do is swimming, man. Swimming through the air. So, I'll get to that. That's going to be on the primary flight display. Or primary function display, PFD. And then, over here, I decided that those were going to be something useful. I think it was going to be the enter and clear buttons on the top row for both displays. So if you come over and your flight planning, it's a relaxed situation. Yeah. Enter clear. Whoops, not that one. Over here, yeah. Enter clear. And I think I need to pull off a Control Z over here. Alright. Control Z. On-screen keyboard. Control Z. Alright, gotta be careful with that file open. Okay. And then the bottom four was something that will come back to me on the right hand side. But the main thing that I use flying is talking to air traffic control. So there's that. I think I want to leave that cursor in an empty line. Okay. Yeah. So I learned a whole lot about how to do this. So that's the primary takeaway, is education, right? And experience. So when someone says they're going to map the controls for their flight simulator, you can kind of sit back and smile. So I'm gonna go fly. See you in a couple of days. That's gonna take a while. But if it increases your immersion and your enjoyment, your sense of self-worth, then ultimately, it has value, right? It builds character. Yeah, I'm making a flight sim mix. What you doing? Talking to ATC, man. Yeah, I gotta get in the autopilot mode. That was flight director. Flight director. Yeah, okay. La 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 la. La 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 la. It's like okay. Now it's your turn, Charlie Brown. Charlie Brown's gonna kick the ball. Wait. Oh, sorry, Charlie Brown. Better luck next time. We're crashing into the garbage can. Yeah. Yeah, I'm having fun now. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. Yeah. Yeah. What's up here? That's spiking control. Where am I? Oh no, I can't feel it. Yo, Alicia, where am I at? She's like, I don't know. You're not on the same planet, man. No, I mean on the keyboard. Don't tell me. Up on the end of it. Nothing up here. Trying to find out what's on this pad. Yeah. Like, oxygen was feeling a little left out of the mix, so I figured I would play with it. What about the where you at. You gotta play with it in order to know it. But nothing. All these samples are going to get replaced. Sounds like the people that invented bungee jumping. That's, them practicing hitting their head on the wooden platform below, but not enough to cause any damage. What? Dun 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 dun. Dun 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 dun. You can't trigger that over and over. I gotta go check the caching of the sounds. I'll just turn that into Latin jam. And the boogie down BX. Nothing up here. Alright, yeah. So I guess on that, I got 16. I bet you if I counted it, no, maybe 24. I bet you because it's 32 keys, right? Something like that. Alright. Anyway, I feel good because all of the devices, what happened? Somebody just got, thanks for the super chat. Thanks for the super chat. Oh, we're on the super chat train.
Okay.
I just broke it. Did I fucked it up. I hit, what's this shit? I fucked it up. I don't know what I'm looking at. It's flashing. It's like, what did you do, man? Am I recording? Stop. What's this one say? Stop. Select. Oh man, I broke it. That's it. Select. I'm in some weird mode. I have to go look at the dot. It's like, oh, this is like delete all. Like, what did you do, man? Oh no, bro. I don't know. That's the worst answer. All you can meet that with is sheer and utter disgust. I don't know, man. It's like how you can't even get mad at him too bad. Because he don't know what he just did. You don't know? What do you mean you don't know? Alright, good night. I'll fix it later. Thanks for how do I get out of here? I'm in netter mode. I need to get that controller out. Alright.